Hey guys, welcome back. It's grimreaper coming back to you for another video for Raidshadowlegends. Hopefully you're doing well, and hopefully you're looking after yourselves and having a great week. Today we're going to talk about meta counter champions and the surge of value of some champions that used to be meta, now come back into meta. And in this video today, we're going to mainly talk about how to counter bombs with a few strategies to talk about this in live arena, classic arena, siege, and 3 versus 3. All these are arena areas where bombs are becoming more frequently being used on defensive and offensive situations, depending on the champions and the content. It can be a bit different via bit. So we're going to talk about the counters to this and to these champions. Now there will be a lot of ways to counter that I'm probably not aware of or aware of that I've not added into today's video because I don't want to make it too long, and also I don't want to make it too difficult. And also it's just these are the most common ways to counter bombs. So we're going to talk about at least 6 ways to do this, and probably 7 ways actually to do this, and about the niche topics, if you get this right, could get you the win in the content, or the win overall. Anyway, let's get into it. So I'm going to start off with the most niche pick and probably the most riskiest on this. So we're going to start at the top and all the way down. In my personal experience of using bombs, I use bombs quite frequently and quite regularly. So we're going to start at number 7. Number 7, this champion was very meta for a very long time. I was very happy when I pulled this champion, and I still do this use this champion to day-to-day basis. We're going to talk about Necro the Great. Necro the Great is a way to be able to counter bombs, generally because of this skill here. This puts up blocked out of skills and etc. on this, which makes it pretty strong. Now, if you put this on a nuker with lightning cage, like for example Lazarus, that can possibly do an AoE nuke, or like a Song Wong as well, this is a very strong strategy. Now, this is a way to kind of do it. Now, you do need the look on the lightning cage, etc., to kind of go in your favor. But because he does put out like block buffs, etc., then he can do that. A high resistance on him as well could make him, or even put an immunity set on him as well, could really help. That is one way to doing it. I have seen this happen against me recently this week by a person called Fox. A big shout out to him or her, depending. And they did a fantastic job of doing this against me, which really surprised me. Now, it was a good way to win. They fought outside the box with what they got. They didn't have a lot available, and he's sitting around about 6,000, 7,000 points overall. So do a great job there. I think you could probably find it in one of my videos, or you might be in the live stream. So that is one way to kind of do it. It's very niche and risky, but it paid off for him that one time. Okay, so let's talk about number 7. I guess is worth a shout out. I guess actually, no, let's go for a different champion, because I'll talk about this champion shortly as well. Mafala Lifebane, right? With her passive ability, this can be quite detrimental against bombs, especially if they don't have accuracy up champion or accuracy aura. This could be a problem for them, and this has kind of worked against me. I do know to counter this most of the time, so it doesn't bother me too much. For a low level live arena like gold 5, gold 3, gold 2 could be a good strategy to counter. Just got to be careful against Narcissus with the shields, which is a downside. There is downside to all these methods, by the way, which is good because it's then the flexibility that counters and spices up a lever arena really well. So this is one way. She is super good. Now, mythicals can deal with her, like Dark Smiles, for example, because he ignores resistance. So that's one thing to be careful of. Also, accuracy up from like Star Sage and our bias are super dangerous. So if there is like a bias there, for example, just ban the bias, and then you won't have to worry about that situation. That's be the another way to doing it. And then going into number 5, actually, because she's a cleanser, high resist cleansers are very viable as well. So they're going to sit in at number 5. High resist cleansers like Pythion, Queen and Cora are a good way to basically counter bombs. She has a very good revive as well, just in case you get a little bit lucky, and who is top tier. She could be very good with like champions like Leo, for example, who places unkillable. Another way to kind of counter bombs on a soft version. Again, you do kind of have to be careful because once his unkillable runs out, it's kind of doom and gloom there. Duchess as well. I've seen a lot of people run a high resist Duchess. Also, this kind of way, she's not a cleanser, but she does have a really good revive mechanics here. So she is used quite regularly as well. Personally, I don't struggle too much against Duchess these days, but you will have to ban the increased accuracy champion if you're not expected it. So you can make her basically viable for that as well, and basically trying to worry about it. Another strategy I do like, actually, again talking about high resistance, is the duo between what's his name, UDK and UDK and Sungwon, right? So what it is you have high resistance UDK, and then you have Sungwon, who basically don't need high resistance. He's good affinity against Nishak as well, where he's probably like the most second meta bomb champion after Dark Smiles, and probably the most common one to see as the because he's a free option back in the day. So why is he so good? Well, he's not built with high resistance, like 800. I think mine's like nearly 900 on my account. So that's one thing that you can kind of use. And then obviously Nishak as well. He can not Nishak, sorry. That's Sungwon can self revive, and if he's alive, then obviously someone has that option to self revive. Then you can come in with other champions like Mafala to kind of help out with this kind of duties, and then also champions like Hyphen as well, who have that resistance or a buff. Oh, sorry guys. After that, it's gonna be another champion, another one, and this one is kind of risky, right? And then it's probably the best way to go in it. But people are starting to remove their stone skin, so let's bring in Hedi back into the meta. Like Nuke Hedi, I've seen had one against me, used against me recently, and also CC Hedi is also another option as well because they're removing it. So you could go with one of the two situations. I'm definitely thinking about building a Nuke Hedi for myself as a option. It's risky as how, I will be honest with it. But again, he kind of fits with the speed meta as well. And this meta is very, very speed meta. So we can one shot as well. You can put a little bit of accuracy on. This is quite a fairly good against mythicals as well. So swapping them switching forms, which is also a option as well. So lower level arena, I can definitely see Hedi being very viable again, which is going to be fantastic for most of you guys watching today's video. And then I guess it is worth noting, if they've got stone skin and Hedi is complete waste of a pick, just bear that in mind. It can be a problem if there's any stone skin there. I guess another one as well, who is kind of really good with Hedi, because it can cause you some problems with today's meta, is going to be Marishka. Marishka is probably the best counter to bombs because of her passive ability. She's basically very hard to bomb. You can use her bias again to kind of use her A2 against this, which happened to me again the other day, which was very interesting, I guess. But yeah, you can definitely use this passive. Her and Hedi are a fantastic duo to kind of use because she also brings speed aura. You can build her really fast in the 4-piece Relentless and Stone Skin. Try to get them extra turns. She also has like a melee ally attack as well. Taurus is not so bad as well against bombs, especially against Dark Smiles because of the passive. Uses one stack up, so if they only build on one stack of pinpoint, can open them up to sheep as well, which is another valid way. But most of the time, going in there, the fights is going to be very viable. And then I guess it's just being the best situation to counter bombs is be faster. Just be faster and be able to counter bombs yourself with people that ignore stone skin. So for example, Susan is a massive counter, especially if they get Armads first. You can kind of take her and another speed champion like Arbiter. It gives you 2 speed auras, and just being faster than them will generally help you. Now you got the A2 ability here, which can basically go into another bomb champion yourself to use against them, or another champion to nuke, like a Sigford to slap him into the ground, or a Georgie who can ignore Stone Skin. A Marius maybe as well can generally work. Do need to be careful if they have a Marius. If you use this ability on Susan, you could land enfeeble on yourself. So you generally, if you're going to use Susan, want to try and take a Stone Skin nuker to kind of deal with that, or like a 4-piece Stone Skin, 4-piece Savage to kind of deal with it. Now there is a couple of other ways, but generally being faster is the best way. So like Seafeet as well is going to be super good with like Odium. Odin passive, for example, is going to be super viable. All of them are super strong strategies against bombs. Overall, there is like some other niche ways that you can do, like for example, Leo could be used. There is another champion on the top of my head that I can't think of right now, who is also very viable against bombs and can be a problem. I guess Lockout as well, like Warlord, Yumiko, and Catrixia. But again, you need to be kind of faster on them because you just break out Stone Skin. And generally just being faster is the way to go to be against the meta overall. So hopefully that helps you. I wanted, oh yes, that was the last one actually. The last one was going to be this Parasite. I like to call him a Parasite because it's so frustrating. Is Nisha the Thief. Now, he can actually ignore, what's he call it? He can actually ignore, bombs can ignore his passive ability. But if you put this guy in immunity and then he has his passive ability, he's going to solo bombs. Like, generally, that is going to be a problem. Like, if you put this guy in immunity for disability and you can't put bombs on him, then it's just going to be another way for you to counter bombs. So definitely immunity set, maybe even Ferald set could be the way to go. Like a 6-piece Ferald set could be a way to go for that. And then you can keep yourself live throughout these abilities and then put a block damage as well. I guess we didn't speak about like Halakath as well. I know there's a couple of people as well now actually starting to change up the Sigford builds and building a very slow Sigford at like 140 speed and 900 resistance, just so he can't be bombed for his passive ability, because it also ignores his passive, and then he flits forms and then comes in with the block damage here, and then obviously the cleanse as well with the block buffs, and then a little bit of damage here as well can be a problem. And Sigford could also be a very viable comp against that bombs as well. So there's a few situations of ways to counter bombs that could be a problem for sure. And there's probably other ways I'm not aware of at the moment, but I haven't came across in Live Arena Gold 4, and basically sharing all the secrets with you guys to do with bombs. And hopefully you really appreciate this as the best ways. I will be dropping a couple of more videos over the next couple of weeks, trying to showcase these ideas and to try and show you that this can work as well on my account and other accounts as well. Anyway, that's it from me today. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Go check out my other video that dropped today talking about the meta and a new insane meta overall. No spoilers, but it is to do with the video of being, that's more like a part 1 overall. So that's it from me today. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you watching to the end. I've been Grim. I'll see you on the next one.